Man, looks like that Kambosos fight might be slipping away from Devin Haney. I always knew there was a issue, some kind of problem when Eddie Hearn started talking that whole Middle East stuff. When he's like, oh, you know, we're waiting on an offer, you know, from guys from the Middle East. I mean, from Saudi Arabia. You know, we should be getting an offer soon. As soon as he said that, I was like, okay, there might be some kind of problems. I mean, what do you mean soon? They either have gotten an offer or you haven't got an offer. Why would they need to wait a while to give you an offer? It'd been like, hey, this amount of money, we got this, we like that fight, let's do this. It was just weird. But the word is that Kambosos might be taking, getting a 2-fight deal from DZON, where he would fight, you know, in Australia. He would fight a, I guess, a super low-tier fighter. Then after that, in the second fight, he would take on Devin Haney. Not Devin Haney. He would take on Ryan Garcia. And I'm sure they're going to probably have something in there where if it's not Ryan Garcia, he would fight somebody else, but still get paid the same funds probably, or get something pretty close to it. And, you know, and people are kind of shocked and surprised that, you know, that DZON would do that. But to me personally, it's not shocking or surprising for two things. Number one, this part is speculatory because they say that Devin Haney's not signed. I mean, I guess he's might not be signed to DZON, but I personally believe he does have a contract with, you know, with Eddie Hearn, with Matchroom. He's contractually bound to them. But, you know, if we just go by what they say, that he's a free agent, that, you know, he can fight on any network, you know, if that's the case, then there's nothing that ties him to DZON. So if DZON is in a position where they're putting up, you know, allocating funds, you know, why are you going to allocate a substantial amount of funds to somebody that's not tied to your network? You know, Ryan Garcia, I believe Golden Boy just read up with DZON. They got another multi-fight deal. So Ryan Garcia is a DZON fighter. That's where he fights, period. You know, so understanding that, you know, is nothing confusing. It makes sense that they would put all their eggs, you know, with someone that's actually part of their organization, that's, you know, that's signed to their organization, not someone that's, yeah, he's fighting for you, but he's technically a freelancer in a way. He can jump and bounce and leave at any time. Kind of like Gary Russell, who he fought on PBC, but he was not signed to Al Haymon at all. He worked with Al Haymon on a fight-to-fight basis. His brother's assigned to Al Haymon, but he's not signed to Al Haymon. So he literally just works with him on a fight-to-fight basis. So, I mean, they're only going to go so far, you know, as far as what they'll do for him, just due to the fact that, you know, you're not, you know, you don't have that full commitment to the organization. So how are you going to expect them to have that full commitment to you? You know, the second thing would be that Kambosos is from Australia. And I know when it comes to Australia, I believe they have opened up, or they're going to open up the market in, I think the DZON has already done it, open up the market in Australia. So with somebody like Kambosos, you got somebody that could really help drive up subscribers. You know, somebody can really help you make some, you know, good monetary gain in that area. You know, he has 3 belts, 4 belts, depending on who you ask. He's just come off a great win, a big win. Everybody's talking about him. I'm sure that Australian fans are hyped up about him. They got a world champion that's holding 3 of the damn belts at 135 pounds. You know, a major player. The only super, like, real major player in the country. So all eyes are going to be on him. You know, and it puts them into a space where they can make some real good money long-term off of Kambosos. So it just makes sense for them to do a deal like that where, you know, you fight one time, you fight some low-tier fighter. Then after that, if you can get Ryan Garcia, you can have him go ahead and fight Ryan Garcia. You know, if he beats Ryan Garcia, you see if you can extend the deal and make even a larger and a more lucrative deal with him. If Ryan Garcia wins, okay, there's your new star. He's a young kid. He's going to have 3 of the belts, and you can ride that wave. You know, so it ends up kind of being good with you. You give it to Devin Haney, that money to Devin Haney. Devin Haney goes, fights Kambosos, beats Kambosos, which we all know that's what's going to happen. And then that's it. Then he's going to drop the belts, and he tends to move up and weight. So what? So you spend all that money for this kid to get his belts. He's getting rid of them, and he's moving up in weight. And then you can't exploit this whole situation as far as making money off the market in Australia. You know, but the Ryan Garcia way, you know, you can put yourself in. It's more beneficial, you know, for DZON to go in that route than it would to go the Ryan Garcia route. I mean, not the Ryan Garcia, to go the Devin Haney route. So I'm not shocked about it, and I 100% can definitely see it happening. I'll just say it, you're signed to Eddie Hearn. That's your, that's whether you're signed, whether you're not signed to him, that's the person that you're working with. That's your partner, basically a financial backer when it comes to putting up fights. Eddie Hearn's going to have to step up, and he's going to have to put out the best lucrative deal that he can put out. That's all that is about. When it comes to Kambosos had 2 fights where he had either split decisions or draws. You had a tight decision when it came to Teofimo as well. He's not a moron. His people aren't idiots. They understand, yeah, you could have a little rain or everything can stop abruptly really quick. So his goal and his focus is about getting the best deal he can get, the most lucrative deal he can get. So if you can get $5 million fighting Devin Haney, but instead of fighting Devin Haney for $5 million, you can get a 2-fight deal where you're guaranteed $8 million. You're better off taking that deal for $8 million. And people can talk all this BS about legacy, about being the best. At the end of the day, that kid has to do what he has to do in order to make sure that his family, his kids' lives are secure. And for anybody to expect that kid to take millions of dollars in a pay cut, you know what I'm saying, for Devin Haney, because Devin Haney deserves this fight or whatever it is asinine. It's moronic to expect him to do something like that. Okay? Legacy isn't going to feed his damn kids. And let's be all real. We all know he fights Devin Haney, he's losing that fight. Let's just be real. He's not dumb. His people aren't stupid. They understand that too. They understand that too. So I want to see the fight. I want to see him fight Devin Haney because I want to see undisputed in the weight class. I want to see, one person actually holding all the belts when they can say that's the man. Even if he drops the belts and he moves up, at least we got to one point where it was like, yo, that guy right there was the man. He was the king of the division. So I'm cool. I'd be happy with that. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this man is ducking Devin Haney because he's taking a better deal. I'm not doing that. He's doing what he's supposed to do. His job, he has the golden ticket. So since he has the golden ticket, he needs to get the most lucrative fight that he can get. Period. He needs to get absolutely the most lucrative deal he can get. So if Devin Haney and them, if that's not the best deal, then he has to go with somebody else. It's going to have to go with somebody else. And Eddie Hearn, I think he just lost the purse bid when it came to Tyson Fury and Dillian White. Just lost that purse bid. He's going to have to do it. If he wants this fight, he is going to have to put that money up. Even if it's a 2-fight deal, because he can do the same thing. If DZON's giving him this 2-fight deal, or it's being offered this 2-fight deal where it's more money than he would make off fighting a Devin Haney fight, then that's fine. Then give him a 2-fight deal. You can give him a deal where he fights Devin Haney next, and even if he loses, he still gets another fight on DZON, for a certain amount of money. It's not like he's going to get destroyed. Like, I think he's going to lose. I don't think he's going to get beat up. I don't think he's going to get battered. I don't think he's going to get knocked out. I think it'll be probably like an 8-4 type of deal, something like that. Maybe 8-5, 7-5. He might have, Kambosos might have some moments. Maybe. He's probably going to lose like 8-4 though. 8-4, 9-3, something like that. But he's not going to get like obliterated, beat up, knocked out, nothing like that. He's going to be able to walk out there with all his faculties without years taken out of his career, anything like that. So, yeah, I think that would work, Have him then come back and maybe fight a Farmer or something like that. A Tevin Farmer on a comeback fight, because then all the belts are going to be scattered. So since all the belts are going to be scattered when Devin Haney moves up, then, you can put him in position to go get another belt. So you can, keep him on DZON and keep him fighting on DZON as he go gets another belt. Ryan Garcia can get a belt. Then they can, be unified, because Ryan Garcia will end up getting that WBC belt. He will, Devin Haney moves up, Ryan Garcia will hold that WBC belt within 3 to 6 months. He will. And ironically, if Devin Haney moves up, they might even have Ryan Garcia fight for the WBC belt, or just if he moves up, they might just put that WBC belt up there in there somewhere and have them fight so it's like the official undisputed or whatever it might be. You know, but go ahead, give him a 2-fight deal. Give him the best deal. If Eddie Hearn and Matchroom do not give that man the most lucrative deal, and he chooses, and Kambosos chooses to take a more lucrative deal, you cannot say he dug Devin Haney. If he takes a lesser deal, though, where he's making millions of dollars less over that 2-fight deal, that's a different story, you know. But we'll wait to see if this fight comes to fruition and what the future holds. Like, subscribe, share, I'm out.